And for the 100th time, what's happening, everybody? My name is Steve, and welcome back to Junkdrummer TV, where I give my initial reactions, my hot takes, and my analysis on the drummers of today and yesterday, and maybe tomorrow if I stick around that long. I am a professional drum teacher, a semi-professional YouTuber, and a gigging musician, and I have been those things for the last 20 plus years, except I've been a YouTuber for about a year and a half. And I remember there was a time when I used to have to read that introduction off of a piece of paper taped to my tripod. That's right, everybody. Episode 100 of my React Analysis video series. And today we're going to get self-indulgent one more time because I did this for my 50th episode. We're going to be watching me with my metal band. Everyone who has watched my videos, who has liked or disliked, commented, positive and negative, and shared, all of my patrons on my Patreon, anyone who has made a PayPal donation, I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. I am still humbled every day that anyone would give me any kind of attention at all. At the recording of this video, I am at almost 33,000 subs and almost 4.8 million views, and that far exceeds anything that I ever thought I would achieve on YouTube, and I owe you all a debt of gratitude. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to be watching me play with my metal band that people always ask about, because I've mentioned this band probably more than any band on this channel because I do a lot of metal drummers. This band is an instrumental stoner sludge doom sorta kinda metal band, and we don't have a singer for a very simple fact. It's me and my three bestest friends. Now that I've got these three on the channel, along with my newest show, Drunk Uncle Radio, please go check that out. I have now given a platform, as they say in the business, a platform, to all of my best friends. And the reason why we don't have a singer is we don't have any singers that could sing metal in my circle of friends. So we decided to just be an instrumental band. Honestly, if we were to get a singer, I would want it to be a female metal singer. I think that would be the only thing that would work. Tell me if you think so in the comment section after watching this. I would like to raise a glass and toast everyone who has supported me. Thank you so much. Let's check out Steve playing Movement 1. Because, again, if you watch my channel and are a fan, you know I'm trying to stay anonymous for as long as I can. I'm not going to tell you the name of the band. I will tell you that the name of this band is named after a Rush song, because, of course, it is. But, cheers, mate. Oh, one other thing. I brought back my OG $400 Walmart special laptop that served me pretty damn well in the first 96 episodes, and brought it back just to, give it a little love, because this has been a primetime player. Now, don't lag. Of course, this is a live stream. This was done a while ago, and my beard was a lot longer. Now, this first intro section is actually influenced by Stevie Ray Vaughan's Couldn't Stand the Weather, with all of these stops and coming in on a offbeat. We're getting a little lag from the stream here. I think it gets better later. There it is. As you can see, I sweat like Shaquille O'Neal. That's why I have headbands on, or wristbands on, so I can wipe my bald ass head. Okay, so this part right here gives me a chance to do a little bit of education time and a slight suggestion on how to deal with band members. That part right there. It is kind of it's a 4-measure phrase, and at the end of each 4th measure, we throw in a measure of 9/8. Now, 9/8 can be felt and played a bunch of different ways. You know, you can think, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 lolly 2 lolly 3 lolly 1 lolly 2 lolly 3 lolly 1, or you can think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 5 1 and 2, and that's how we play it. So what happens in the way we've set this up specifically, I play through the first part on the upbeats, and then I do that measure of 9, and then that sets me up to play on the downbeats, and go back and forth. And that is kind of the little proggy trick that we do there. It's not, anything really difficult, but that brings me to my suggestion for all you original music writers and participants out there. That part when we were writing this song, and this is actually the first time we play this live. I think there's some mistakes in here from me. When we were writing it, I was just not grasping it. I was writing a bunch of different things, and none of it fucking worked. And Caleb, the guy that we're seeing right here with the big ass arms. No, Caleb never wears shirts with sleeves, and he works out, so why would he? I was just not finding it, and Brother Caleb went home, and he's a really good home recorder and programmer of drum beats, and he programmed the part that he thought would work, and it did. It worked perfectly, and it made a part that was wearing me out because I was fucking it up all the time, and it fixed it just like that. That is a good example of trusting your bandmates. Look, we're all drummers. Most of us are drummers, right? Some people aren't drummers. We've all been in that situation. If you're in an original band in the practice space and you're writing a part, and maybe the guitar player has something specific, or you're not getting something right off the bat, and they make suggestions. There's one of 2 ways to go about that. One is to be just like, dude, you're not a drummer, fuck off, and be dismissive. Or 2, take it to heart, try it in earnest, and see if it works. That part, or that way to do it, I think is the most judicious way of dealing with it. The first way, which I've actually been in practices with, I've hung out in practices with other bands and saw that go down, and it's a vibe killer. If you trust the musician that you're playing with and their musicianship, and if you don't, why are you playing with them in the first place? If you trust their wisdom on a part, don't have an ego about it. Play it at least once or twice and see if it works. And in my case, it solved a problem that I had been having for quite a while during the recording or writing of this song. So I'm going to bring that back so I can kind of count out that little 9/8 trick that we put in here. So playing the upbeats here. 4E and a 5E1. Playing the downbeats. 4E and a 5E, and then the next part. So, the man with the guns, that's Caleb. Phenomenal guitar player. And I haven't watched this since we did this, and I think I mess up. I do right here. I'm supposed to be on the upbeats, and it is structurally incorrect for what I wrote. But I say this all the time to students, man, making mistakes and being a good musician and getting over and covering up things that may have not gone the way that you had planned is the art of covering your ass. Now, unless I told you that happened, maybe you wouldn't have caught that. But I know I messed up and the rest of the band did. But when you mess up, don't panic. Don't panic. Figure out a way to make it work. And I do. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So instead of going up, down, I just do down 3 times. The cat you're hearing right now is my spiritual advisor, Tony, Big T. Me, him, and the bass player. Oh, let's talk about that. The bass player there, Parker. We're all old roommates. We've lived together for many, many years. Mike Parker. Parker is the guy that everyone got mad at when I did my Van Halen video. When I did the first one, not the In Memoriam, obviously, but he was the one that picked Seventh Seal, and I stand behind that choice and that video. But everyone got really mad because that was my Van Halen video. But you're wrong. That's a good song. It's Van Halen. I couldn't have made a wrong choice. Parker couldn't have made a wrong choice. He's playing my bass. This is the first band that Tony's ever been in. He's doing a fantastic job. So this is just drum part, just playing exactly with the guitar, or the drum part playing exactly with the guitar section. If you notice, I'm counting right here. Let's talk about this section. So I am not happy with what I'm playing right here. The guitar, and again, like I said, this is the first time we've played this live. And we didn't really, it was live, but we didn't have a crowd in front of us, because I don't think we're going to have crowds in front of bands in a long, long time, unfortunately. I'm not happy with this part. The guitar parts are playing this grouping of 3s that fall over the bar line that I just have not grasped yet. But this is an example of, when in doubt, play it simple, stupid. And the simple part works. It might even end up this might be the part that I end up recording. I hope not, because I think there's something better. But when in doubt, play it simple. And that's what I'm doing. If you notice, I'm counting. The guitar part floats weird over the bar line. The skank. Okay, so as I've said before, this is the very first metal band I was ever in. I've played in literally every situation that you can think of. This is the best way I can explain how many types of kind of gigs I did. I once played in a handbell choir at a Catholic church. That's how many different gigs I've done, how many disparate situations I've been in. But I'd never been in a metal band. And I had never played a skank. I'd listened to them a bunch, I talked about this and broke it down on the Gene Hoglan and the Dave Lombardo video. And if the commenters and the things that I've read independently are to be believed, Gene Hoglan came up with this groove. But this is another part that when Caleb wrote this section, he had that groove in mind. And I'd never played one before. And he's not a quote-unquote literate musician. Like, he doesn't know how to count rhythm. So he wasn't able to count to me what he was trying to get across, but he just sang it to me. It's like, oh yeah. And I got to play the skank, and I had to go home and shed it, because I'd never played it before. I call it triple time, because if you think of as double time, this is triple time, because instead of going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you're going 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And no one else calls it that, but I call it triple time. So here's the skank. This is the first time I've ever played this groove outside of rehearsal. I love this part. Now, listen to this and how this juxtaposes against what we set up in the next section. Tony's playing, is totally playing a real Les Paul there. Okay, so this part right here is what I call fake metric modulation. Fake metric modulation. The section before that, I'm playing playing 16th notes, right? Playing every, filling up the measure. Then right here, we break into a section where the beat, the main groove, it comes off of every third 16th note. 1, 2, and E4. 1, 2, and E4. And that feels like a metric modulation. If it was a real metric modulation, we'd have went 1 la, lay, 2 la, lay, 3 la, lay, 4 la, lay, 1 la, lay, 2 la, lay, 3 la, lay, 4 la, lay, 1, or something like that. But this is a fake metric modulation, and I think it works really well coming off of that smooth 16th note thing where I'm filling the measure up and then breaking up the rhythm in every third 16th note. Fake metric modulation. I'm playing with a metronome, and usually we will kind of lay back on this section, and I don't, and it doesn't feel right. When you're doing your 30-second notes, be relaxed. Okay, before this section drops, gear nerds, I know I'm playing B8 and B8 Pro China cymbals. Everything else is, I got a Sabian ride, Sabian artisan hi-hats. I got some big-ass Dream Crash cymbals, and this, it's a Wuhan Smash Crash or some shit that's got holes in it. I don't want to hear it, because they're China cymbals, and they shouldn't be expensive. I just can't see spending $375 to $400 on like a Zildjian Crash when it's supposed to sound trashy and kind of shitty. It's the point of Chinas. If you notice, I've got this China here in the classic Dave Abrazeese position. It's broke, and it sounds great. The B8, that's B8 Pro, and then the B8 I have over here isn't broke yet, and it doesn't sound as good. So that's why I've always used cheaper Chinas, because I want them to sound trashy and shitty and awesome. So this is the obligatory stoner metal play as slow as you possibly can section. This is all Big Tony's influence. We're going to talk about bands and influences. Yeah, man. It's always a good day when Big T smiles. Band's good. I don't care what anybody says. I know there's going to be people in the comment section that says I suck. This band rules. If we were in Europe, we'd be huge. So I'm off the metronome here, and I will be back on here in a minute. So before this outro starts, let's talk about the Venn diagram of when a band is hitting on all cylinders. We've got Tony, big guy here with the authentic Les Paul. And his influences and playing style was very blues metal based, very COC, Corrosion of Conformity. Pepper Keenan's one of his heroes, very Black Sabbath, very that side of it. And then you've got Caleb, who's very tech, like very technical metal guy. Like one of his favorite bands is Animals as Leaders. We got Parker, the bass player, who Parker on his own is an amazing guitar player in his own right. But he's just like, He's like in baseball, you have those guys that can play every position. That's what Parker is. He's a guitar player in all of his other bands, but he's a bass player in this. So he's very flexible and can fit into any situation. And then you have my dumbass, who is a, quote unquote experienced drummer who's never done this before. Who's never played this and presented and written this kind of music before. And that Venn, and with my own influences, and the thing that shows up in the middle of that Venn diagram, that's what you sound like. When a band has harmony in the Venn diagram, that's when your band is cooking, and that's when your band, I think, is doing its best, because everyone has a stake in that sound and is putting their soul into it because they feel like they're contributing equally. So now we're going to get into the outro of this long-ass song that we've written. It's one of those tunes where we wasn't really sure when we were finished. So right there was right there, because I have my hillbilly metronome set up. I just have my Beat Doctor, the rhythm watch right here, and I turn it on and off, and I dial it in. Like, if you have like a better setup, it's just programmed and it'll just do it for you. So that slow down, we're off the metronome. In the middle of that trash can ending, I turn the metronome back on, and that part right there is to get the band back on the metronome. Tricks of the trade. So what we're going to do right here after this part that's sort of ahead, we're going to recapitulate all of the themes that we've done so far in this song. I'm also playing this section different than I did the first two times because we're on the third time. Bringing back the skank right here. So, there you go. That's a song called Movement 2 off of our soon-to-be-recorded next record. Man, that just makes me want to play. That makes me want to play gigs. Can we play gigs again? No. I hope you all enjoyed that. Again, that'll be the last time that I do one of these analysis videos on myself, because I understand it's self-indulgent, a little pretentious. I know what I'm doing here. I would like to thank everyone who has supported this channel in every way that you can. Support a channel, liking, commenting, sharing, PayPal, Patreon. Oh, by the way, on my merch page, I forgot to do this at the beginning. On my merch page, I am doing a promo code that will give you 15% off until the end of the year. Promo code Christmas. Please go check that out if you'd like to give some Junkdrummer TV as a stocking stuffer. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Here's to the last 100. And here's to the next 100, cause my dumbass ain't going anywhere. Thank you all. I'll see you next time, and keep practicing until it's easy.